When playoff dreams hang in the balance, champions rise to the occasion. The Indiana Fever delivered a masterclass performance against the Chicago Sky in what became a statement victory that shook the entire WNBA landscape. With blood, sweat, and pure determination, Indiana showcased why they deserve respect in the postseason conversation. From explosive three-point shooting to gritty defensive stands, this wasn't just another regular season game, it was a declaration. Join us as we break down every crucial moment, every game-changing play, and every reason why this Fever squad is ready to make serious noise when it matters most. Welcome back to the court, basketball fanatics. Tonight, we're diving deep into one of the most dominant performances of the WNBA season, where the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky in a game that had massive playoff implications written all over it. CTA. If you love detailed game breakdowns like this, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We've got championship level analysis coming your way every week. Let me set the scene for you. Two teams with completely different motivations stepped onto the hardwood. The Fever were fighting for their playoff lives, desperately needing every win they could get their hands on. Meanwhile, the Sky were playing the role of potential spoilers, looking to disrupt Indiana's postseason dreams with nothing but pride on the line. What unfolded was a basketball clinic that left everyone in attendance questioning whether they just witnessed a playoff preview or a complete mismatch. From the opening tip, Lexie Mitchell made it crystal clear that this was going to be her night. The veteran guard came out firing on all cylinders, attacking the rim with surgical precision and finding her rhythm beyond the arc almost immediately. Mitchell's first bucket came off a beautifully executed backdoor cut, the kind of play that requires perfect timing and trust between teammates. She slipped behind Chicago's defense like a shadow, received the pass in stride, and finished with the confidence of a player who knew exactly what was at stake, but that was just the appetizer. Moments later, Mitchell spotted up from three-point range and buried a shot that had the arena erupting. The ball barely touched the net, and you could see the confidence radiating from her entire body language. When shooters get hot early, it's like watching a master artist at work. Every movement becomes fluid, every decision becomes instinctive. Drop a comment below and tell us your favorite Lexie Mitchell moment from this season. Her clutch gene is absolutely unreal. The Sky tried to respond through their interior presence. With Angel Reese sidelined, Camila Cardoso stepped up to the challenge, using her size and strength to establish position in the paint. She managed to convert a couple of tough finishes around the basket, showing the kind of physicality that makes her such a valuable asset for Chicago. But here's the thing about momentum in basketball: once it starts flowing in one direction, it becomes incredibly difficult to stop. The Fever were riding a wave of offensive excellence that seemed to touch every player on the court. Lexie, Hull, and Mitchell connected on back-to-back mid-range jumpers that showcased Indiana's improved ball movement and shot selection. These weren't forced attempts or desperation heaves. These were calculated, well-designed plays that found the right shooter in the right spot at the right time. Then came the moment that perfectly encapsulated the grit and determination of this Fever squad. Hull drove hard to the basket and took a shot that resulted in her lip getting busted open. Blood was literally flowing from her face. But did she back down? Absolutely not. She stayed in the game, showing the kind of toughness that championship teams are built on. That's the kind of warrior mentality we love to see. Like this video if you respect players who battle through adversity. Aerial Powers capitalized on the next possession with a spectacular finish that had everyone talking. She elevated through contact, adjusted her body mid-air, and somehow managed to scoop the ball home despite the defensive pressure. These are the types of plays that separate good players from great ones. The ability to make something out of nothing when the game demands it. As the first quarter wound down, Mitchell wasn't finished making her statement. She found her teammate with not one, but two absolutely gorgeous assists that showcased her court vision and basketball IQ. The first was a no-look feed that caught everyone by surprise, and the second was a perfectly timed bounce pass that arrived exactly when her teammate needed it. By the time the buzzer sounded to end the first quarter, Indiana had built a commanding 16-point advantage, but more importantly, they had established the tone and rhythm that would carry them throughout the entire contest. If the first quarter was impressive, the second quarter was nothing short of spectacular. The Fever picked up exactly where they left off, showing no signs signs of letting their foot off the gas pedal. Cardoso opened the frame with another strong move in the post, powering through multiple defenders to keep Chicago within striking distance. Her effort was admirable, but it was like trying to plug a dam with your finger while water was rushing through everywhere else. The Fever's offensive machine was operating at a level that few teams in the league could match. Hull knocked down a mid-range jumper with the kind of confidence that suggested she'd completely shaken off the physical confrontation from the previous quarter. Then Aaliyah Boston took over the spotlight with a move that belonged in a highlight reel. Facing 3 defenders, yes 3, she somehow managed to spin, create space, and score through contact. The degree of difficulty on that play was off the charts, and the fact that she made it look routine speaks volumes about her skill level and composure under pressure. Boston's development this season has been incredible to watch. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our player spotlight videos. The ball movement during this stretch was absolutely beautiful to witness. Odyssey Sims found Natasha Howard with a pass that threaded the needle perfectly, and Howard immediately returned the favor by locating Sims on a well-timed cut. This wasn't just good basketball, this was basketball poetry in motion. Howard continued to showcase her versatility by swinging the ball to Sims for a wide-open three-pointer from the right wing. When role players start knocking down shots with that kind of confidence, it's usually a sign that something special is happening with the team chemistry. But Howard wasn't done making her own offensive contributions. She pulled out a move that had the crowd on their feet, a shake-and-bake dribble combination followed by a 1-foot fadeaway jumper that found nothing but net. These are the types of veteran moves that demonstrate why experience matters so much in crucial games. With 4 minutes remaining in the half, the Fever kept pouring it on relentlessly. Sims blew past Chicago's defense with pure speed and athleticism, showing that Indiana had multiple ways to attack and score. When the Sky tried to trap Mitchell and take the ball out of her hands, she demonstrated exactly why she's considered one of the premier playmakers in the league. She found Howard with a perfect pocket pass that arrived with surgical timing, and Howard glided through the air for an effortless finish. Mitchell herself added another spectacular moment by dissecting the defense with a hesitation move that froze her defender completely. The way she changed pace and rhythm was masterful. She went from slow to explosive in the blink of an eye, leaving her opponent standing still while she attacked the rim. Sims capped off the second quarter with a 14-foot pull-up jumper that gave Indiana a comfortable 15-point advantage heading into the locker room. At this point, it was becoming clear that Chicago was dealing with a buzzsaw of offensive production that showed no signs of slowing down. The Fever's ball movement in this game was incredible. Comment below with your favorite assist from this breakdown. Coming out of halftime, many expected Chicago to make some adjustments and mount a serious comeback attempt. The Sky did manage to start the third quarter with back-to-back scores inside, cutting the deficit to 11 points and giving their fans a glimmer of hope. But just when it seemed like momentum might be shifting, the Fever demonstrated exactly why they were the superior team on this particular night. They responded to Chicago's mini-run with a barrage of shots that effectively ended any realistic comeback chances. The sequence started when 2 Sky defenders decided to shadow Mitchell, thinking they could neutralize her offensive impact by denying her the basketball. What they didn't account for was her exceptional court vision and passing ability. She found her teammate at the top of the key for a three-pointer that swished through the net with perfect rotation. Mitchell then added her own offensive contribution with a pull-up jumper that showcased her improved shooting mechanics. The ball arced perfectly through the air and found its target with the kind of precision that separates elite shooters from the rest of the pack. Shea Petty decided it was her turn to join the three-point party, sinking a corner shot that had the arena reaching fever pitch levels of excitement. When bench players start contributing with that kind of confidence, it's usually a sign that something special is happening with team chemistry and preparation. Petty's emergence as a reliable three-point threat has been huge for Indiana. Smash that like button if you love seeing role players step up in big moments. The lead ballooned to 16 points, and you could see the deflation starting to set in on Chicago's sideline. Brianna Turner added another three-pointer right before the quarter ended, pushing the score to 78-60 and essentially putting the game out of realistic realistic reach. What made this third quarter so impressive wasn't just the shot making, it was the way Indiana responded to every Chicago attempt at creating momentum. Every time the Sky looked like they might make a run, the Fever had an immediate answer. That's the mark of a mature, well-coached team that understands how to close out games effectively. As the game entered its final stretch, many teams might have been content to simply manage their lead and avoid any unnecessary risks. Not this Fever squad. They kept their foot firmly planted on the accelerator, determined to make a statement that would resonate throughout the entire league. Sims set up shop on the left wing and found Howard on a downhill drive that resulted in one of the most impressive finishes of the entire game. Despite getting bumped and foddered, Howard absorbed the contact and somehow managed to convert the shot for an and-one opportunity. The degree of body control and focus required to make that play is exceptional. Boston continued her dominant interior performance by spinning and scoring against two defenders. Her footwork in the post has improved dramatically this season, and plays like this demonstrate why she's considered one of the most promising young big players in the league. Boston's post moves have been getting better all season long. Subscribe for more in-depth player development analysis. When Chicago tried to mount one final desperate comeback attempt, Powers and Turner were ready with immediate responses. Powers delivered another strong finish inside the paint, while Turner added her own contribution with a reverse layup that showcased excellent court awareness and finishing ability. But the play that truly epitomized this dominant performance came from Powers in the final minutes. She went behind her back with the dribble, muscled her way through contact to get to the rim, drew the foul, and flipped the ball home for another and one opportunity. After making the shot, she kissed her guns in celebration, a moment of pure swagger that perfectly captured how confident and locked in this team was performing. The final buzzer sounded with Indiana having secured a comprehensive 97-71 victory that left no doubt about which team wanted it more on this particular night. This wasn't just another regular season victory for the Fever, this was a statement game that carried massive implications for the playoff picture. With this win, combined with losses by other competing teams, Indiana moved up to the 7th seed and positioned themselves just one victory away from clinching a playoff berth. The margin of victory was impressive enough on its own, but when you consider that this completed a season series sweep of Chicago with a combined winning margin of 119 points across 5 games, it becomes even more remarkable. The playoff race is heating up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our postseason coverage. What makes this Fever squad particularly dangerous moving forward is their improved chemistry and resilience. They've proven they can win games even when key players are unavailable, and they've successfully integrated multiple new faces into their rotation throughout the season. The balanced scoring attack we witnessed in this game demonstrates that Indiana isn't overly reliant on any single player to carry the offensive load. Mitchell, Boston, Howard, Powers, Sims, and Hull all made significant contributions, showing the kind of depth that becomes crucial during playoff basketball. Their ball movement has reached another level of sophistication, with players consistently finding the open teammate and making the extra pass that leads to high-quality shot attempts. This unselfish style of play creates problems for opposing defenses because it's impossible to key in on just one or two primary threats. Despite receiving some tough news regarding player availability for the postseason, this Fever team has shown they possess the depth, chemistry, and determination needed to make noise in the playoffs. Mitchell and Boston provide a solid foundation of all-star caliber talent, while players like Howard, Powers, and Sims have proven they can step up and deliver when the stakes are highest. The development of role players like Hull and Petty adds another layer of unpredictability that could cause problems for higher-seeded opponents. What do you think about Indiana's playoff chances? Let us know in the comments. We read every single one. The resilience this team has displayed throughout the season cannot be understated. They've dealt with injuries, roster changes, and the pressure of trying to establish a new identity, yet they've continued to fight and claw their way into playoff contention. Their flexibility and adaptability have been tested repeatedly, and they've passed every challenge with flying colors. This game against Chicago was just the latest example of their ability to rise to the occasion when everything is on the line. What we witnessed in this Fever vs. Sky matchup was more than just a basketball game. It was a preview of what this Indiana squad is capable of achieving when they're firing on all cylinders. From Mitchell's explosive offensive performance to Hull's gritty determination while playing through injury, from Boston's dominant interior presence to the bench players stepping up with crucial contributions, this was a complete team effort that should have every opponent in the playoff picture taking notice. The 97-71 final score tells the story of a team that came prepared, executed their game plan to perfection, and never let their foot off the gas until the final buzzer sounded. As we look ahead to the postseason, this Fever squad has proven they have all the ingredients necessary to pull off some major upsets. Their improved chemistry, balanced scoring attack, and unwavering determination make them a dangerous opponent for anyone they might face. Thanks for watching this complete game breakdown. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe for more in-depth WNBA content, and don't forget to check out our playoff prediction video dropping this week. The stage is set for what could be a magical playoff run, and based on performances like this one, the Indiana Fever are ready to prove they belong among the elite teams in the league. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the latest WNBA analysis, player breakdowns, and playoff coverage. Your support helps us bring you the most comprehensive basketball content on the platform.